For KRVN Sports, I'm Jayson Jorgensen. The UNK wrestling team will compete this weekend at the Division II National Tournament that's going on in Wichita. I had a chance to talk to head coach Dalton Jensen about where the Lopers are at heading into the final weekend of the year.
Coming off a solid regional performance and qualifying 8 guys for the national championships, and these weeks between and really just even that build up into regionals, it's really just maintenance mode. So it's keeping these guys fresh, keeping them healthy. At this point, really all the work's been done. We can do some scouting reports and watch some opponents and look at little things here and there, but for the most part, it's just keeping these guys just doing what they're doing and just keeping them fresh and healthy. You had another very strong regional performance. Do you feel like that's much of a boost, or that gives you much of a boost going into nationals? Yeah, I mean, when you talk about peaking and being at your best for performance for that postseason, I mean, it's 2 tournaments that we're aiming for, and I think having a great regional performance is something that kind of builds momentum and carries on to the national championships. So, yeah, I mean, that was just kind of one, box to check on the way to nationals, was to go have a good regional performance and obviously win that tournament as a team and qualify as many guys as we possibly could. And qualifying 8 out of 10, that's a good thing. That's good numbers to carry down to Wichita, but obviously leaving 2 guys at home, you're greedy and you feel bad for those guys, because those guys put in the same amount of work as everybody else, but that's just the way this athletics and that's the way sports is. That's how it goes sometimes. Dalton, when you look at the landscape here, what do you make of the seeds and the draws that you guys received as you get set to head in? Yeah, brackets came out last Friday, and we're ranked 4th as a team, and I think pretty good matchups. You sit there and look at the seeds and think this and that, and maybe this shouldn't have gone this way. And I've had the opportunity to be on the seeding committee the last 3 years, and this is my first year kind of back off of it. And I know it's a lot of coaches are judgmental of that, and it's just having been on that committee is a good thing to serve as that, because it's never easy. It's never a good way to make everybody happy. And in Division II, there's not a ton of crossover when you're talking from East Coast to West Coast, mostly just because of budgetary constraints. So, it's tough to make sure you get it right. And, at the end of the day, we have 8 guys that have aspirations of being national champions. And really, it doesn't matter where you're at in the bracket. If you want to be a national champ, you're going to have to beat 4 or 5 guys and all in a 2-day format. So, looking at the brackets, I like where all of our guys are sitting. You don't want to overlook your first round, but you, at least as far as seeds go, because in Division II we seed out to 8, so you're kind of able to at least project where we're going to sit in the quarterfinals. What seed you're gonna go wrestle in the quarterfinals, and 6 of our 8 guys are seeded in the top 8. And if we were to win all those first round matches and punch ourselves into the quarterfinals, we're going to have some pretty tough quarterfinal matches. It's going to be a fun round on Friday night. Those 6 guys that are seeded, they would be technically not favored in not even one of those matches. We're out-seeded in all 6 of them. So I don't project it to see us go 0-6 if it comes down to that, if we get through the first round, but it will make a nail-biter of a Friday night, and should be exciting. So I think our guys are up for the challenge. I know when it comes to UNK wrestling, you always have high goals. You guys have high standards. You want to be at the top every year. But what's kind of your realistic goals going into this weekend in Wichita? I think collectively as a team, you want to, for a lot of these guys are stepping in their first national championships that they've ever been able to compete in. We have a freshman wrestling, and we have 4 sophomores, and then 3 seniors that have been at the national championships multiple times. So kind of a mixed bag, the experience level that we have here. But you just want to see guys go and have their best performance possible. Realistically and looking at it objectively, yeah, we would love to go crack the top 3, I think, on a good day, good performance. I have no doubt in my mind that we could go finish in that top 3. When you talk about going and winning a team title, you look at a team like a Central Oklahoma who's favored this next weekend, and top to bottom, they're just a great team. They got 8 qualifiers. They have 2 returning national champs, and it's just a tough team to beat. So when you're talking about winning the team title, for what they have and what we have, you almost would have to count on them kind of faltering and things that are outside of your control. So when you start getting too wrapped up into, hey, do we have a national championship caliber team? And then you kind of start thinking about variables that, oh, well, maybe if this team loses here and loses there, and that's just outside of our control, and that's just wasted energy on our part, whereas if you think about our 2022 national championship team, we were that team. We had a bunch of guys in the finals, had multiple All-Americans, and for anyone to ever beat us on that day, it was just going to take a lot of things outside any other team's control, and it was just going to be us kind of imploding. And luckily that didn't happen that year. But nope, we want to just take care of ourselves and have great performances. And really, again, when you look at these young guys, you hope they have a good experience and can take a lot of value out of this first time at the national championship, so they can go continue to build on it, continue to get better, and make something out of their career here. And on the flip end of it, we got 3 seniors competing, and you want to see those guys, end their career on a high note and end it like an Austin Eldridge did last year on top of the podium and be a nice little, last sports moment for their wrestling career.
That was Loper wrestling coach Dalton Jensen. Once again, the national meet gets underway on Friday in Wichita and wraps up late on Saturday. For KRVN Sports, I'm Jayson Jorgensen.